Let's start lying on our backs today. Find a little bit of a Shavasana. Let those toes roll out to the side. Tuck your chin down towards the chest a little. Left hand on heart, right hand on your belly, the solar plexus area, if that is comfortable for you. Just start on our backs today. If there's pressure on the low back, maybe bend the knees and let them fold in towards each other. And I've been reading from this book. I've been enjoying it, so I'm going to keep sharing. Today's chapter is Santosha, which is the Sanskrit word for contentment and gratitude. So we practice Santosha. And it reads, true inner happiness rests upon feeling content with who we are right now. Like the rest of the world, we are changing from moment to moment. Possessions flow in and out of our lives, people around us come and go, and our opinions and even what we think is true will often change over time. Our outer form is in flux around a deeper and permanent light of awareness. Complete satisfaction and contentment can be experienced when our heart-mind field of consciousness rests quietly in this awareness. So maybe thinking of a time in your life when you felt complete contentment and gratitude. Smiling to the memories, the feelings that come along with it. And then we'll invite some movement into the body by bringing our right knee up towards the right armpit. Pull that right knee into your armpit on the side of your body. Opening the hips. Keep that right hip down, left hip down, left leg long. And then take some ankle circles here with the right ankle. Go in both directions. Keep your spine on the mat, chin tucks down just a little. And then take this to half happy baby. So grab the outside of your right foot. Pull that right knee towards the mat. And maybe even rocking side to side here with that foot, or you can take the foot in little circles. Opening up your hip, just getting into different angles, breathe. Opening one side at a time here. And then we're gonna take this right knee across the body for a supine twist. Let the right knee drop over to the left. Take it as far as you want today. If you want that full supine twist, you can stack the right hip on top of the left and then let your gaze go over to the right. Twisting out the spine, holding your right knee down to the left. And then bring that right leg back to center. We'll kick the right heel straight up towards the ceiling. And then grab the back of that right leg anywhere you can. We're just going to open up the hamstring and the calf. So gently pull. Flex your toes down towards the face to get into the calf. Maybe move your toes from flexing to pointing a few times, feeling what it does to that calf muscle. All right, we'll release the right leg down. Same thing, left side. So start with a straight spine. Find that neutral spine on your mat. And then bring left knee into chest. Try to hug that left knee up into the armpit so it goes on, the thigh goes on the side of your rib cage. You're using the strength of your hands to pull the knee high and keep the right hip down. Take those ankle circles here, warming up the feet. Get some blood flow. And then half happy baby, grab the outside of your left foot this time. You can keep that right hand on the right hip to keep it from lifting. Try to keep your spine on the mat. Breathe into half happy baby, left side. Maybe moving the foot in little tiny circles. Breathe into it. All right, we're gonna drop the left knee across the body, over to the right, supine twist. Yogi's choice, how far you wanna move into it. Maybe just breathing into the outer side of that left leg here, or dropping the knee all the way to the mat. Gaze goes left. Just feel the whole spine really twisting here. Come back to center. Kick that left heel towards the ceiling. Maybe you have to readjust your spine a little bit so you're nice and neutral with the spine on the mat. Grab the back of your left leg. Anywhere that feels just natural, the calf or behind the thigh. Maybe flexing and pointing those toes again, just feeling the release of the calf muscle. Maybe you find a tight spot. All right, we'll release the legs down and we're just gonna roll onto our bellies real quick here. One stretch on the bellies. I wanna get into the shoulders. So hands will start under your shoulders, about right under the shoulders on the mat, and then you shoot your right arm out to the right. We're gonna roll over the shoulder. So go nice and slow, press your left hand into the mat. Feel the front of the left shoulder open up, or right shoulder. You can bend the left knee, plant the foot into the mat, or keep both legs straight. All right, we won't hold it for very long, still warming up. So roll through center, take the same thing left side. Find neutral with your spine and then stick the left arm out. Press the right hand into the mat to roll on over. Go nice and slow. Feel the chest muscles opening, the front of the left shoulder. Using your breath. Slowly coming back to center. Hands under those shoulders. Take your feet about as wide as the mat. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. And we'll inhale, cobra pose. First one, don't use your hands. So really using the strength of the low back here. Cobra pose, lift the chest, gaze slightly lifts, and then release. Chin down to mat. We're gonna do another one. Inhale back to cobra. This time, lightly touch your hands to the mat and grip onto the mat. Pull your chest forward and pushing up. Still being gentle as we warm up the spine. Getting a little deeper here. And release. We'll take those hands under the shoulders. Press back to a quick child's pose. Feel the length in the spine. Send your hips back towards the heels. Maybe rock the hips side to side, just settling down. Reach the hands long. And then we'll meet in tabletop position. Going right into cat-cow after you find your stacked position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze goes up. Exhale, arch the spine, let your head hang heavy. Cat-cow is a great pose, probably one of my favorites to just close my eyes. Exaggerate the movement by bending the elbows. And just feeling out the spine, knowing it doesn't have to look any one way. All right, take the hands a little bit farther in front of where they are right now. We take that into some hip circles, just a few times, both directions. Nice and wide. Still feeling stable through the shoulders. All right, we'll come back to tabletop. We're gonna open up the quad here. So we'll start by moving the weight onto the left side, left hand, left shin. Take your shin out 45 degrees. And then you're gonna reach up, kick your right hand into right foot. Gaze might slightly lift. First find the balance and then kick harder into that right foot or right hand. Opening the quad, feel the front of that right shoulder. Big stretch here. And release. Drop everything to the mat. And then we'll move over to the right side. Same thing other side. Take that right shin about 45 degrees out. Helps you find stability as you lift up, grab left foot. Really kick into it using your breath. Feel your spine arching. And release. Back to the mat. Hands under shoulders. Hips under or over knees. And then we'll tuck both toes. Lift the knees off the mat. 2 inches, just using that core work here to get us in prep for down dog. Feel your core engaged, holding this pose. And then next exhale, send the hips high to the sky. Send them back, and then let the heels settle down towards the ground. First down dog of class. Give you time here to take any poses that feel most natural while you're in down dog. So lifting and lowering the heels will feel nice, coming up onto the balls of the feet. Walking the dog, you bend one knee, and then drop it across the body. So right knee goes over to the left. You're strong through the shoulders, no matter what you're doing with those legs to warm up. So press those fingers wide. Press the palm into the mat. Last couple breaths here. And then we'll gaze at the space between your hands. Come up onto your tippy toes and walk to the front of your mat, trying to keep your hips as high as you can, taking baby teeny little steps. And then let the hand or the feet land under the hips, ragdoll pose. Grab the elbows, sway side to side. Releasing the whole back here up into that neck so you can shake your head out, yes. Shake your head out, no. Ending on a yes. Let the tension release right out the crown of your head. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way to standing. Let your head be the last thing to come up. And then we'll just meet in mountain pose. We're going to take a couple side body stretches here. So for this side body stretch, actually, let's bring our big toes to touch and then a little bit of space between the heels. This feels better on my body. Try it out with hips width distance. I think it will be better with big toes to touch. Inhale, hands overhead. Let the fingers touch, but let the shoulders lower out of the ears. Press the hips forward. Inhale, gaze up, and then exhale, let the hands fall to the right. You're reaching up and to the right, so big arch on the left side body. Shoot your hips over to the left. This is where you can try those 2 different stances. I find it better with my big toes together. Keep falling over to the right. Feel the left side body open. And inhale back to center. Breath here, and then we go to the left. When you're ready, an inhale finds length, and an exhale sends the hips to the right and your hands to the left. Big side body stretch. Keep reaching. Hips go to the right, so keep pushing the hips to the right. Hands are not just falling to the left, they're still reaching high. And inhale back to center. Nice job. We'll take the hands to the low back. Take your feet a little wide. Wider than hips width distance, toes out about 45 degrees. Press your hands into your low back and then let your head fall back for a back bend. Open the throat, open the the heart space. And then we'll inhale, lift up, neutral spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let those feet come back under the hips. Inhale, half lift, shine the heart forward, fingertips to the mat or your shins here. Exhale, lower the hands. We'll meet in plank pose, hold plank. So options for plank are down on your knees, but for this part, let's try and stay in a plank. So let the wrists be right under the shoulders or maybe a little bit in front of the shoulders. Shoot energy out of your heels towards the back of the room. You're still tall in the spine. And then your challenge here is to lower down to your forearms and then back up to the hands. We're gonna do dolphin pose today. So this is warming you up for that sensation of being on the forearms. A couple more times, or just holding plank or dropping to your knees. Lots of modifications. Trying to build strength in this plank pose. Last one. From plank pose, push your hips high to the sky, down dog. Maybe an open mouth exhale here. And then we'll inhale the right leg high to the sky, open the hip here, take some hip circles. Both directions. And then let the right heel go up to the sky, straighten the right leg. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot, low lunge. So drop that back knee. Breathe into the left hip flexor, maybe grabbing your block, pressing into the block or your right knee. Breathe into the hip flexor. Next, exhale, send the hips back for half splits. So straight into your right leg. Inhale, find length in the spine. And exhale, fold over your right leg. If full splits is a new practice, feel free here. All right, we're gonna inhale, come back forward. Plant the hands into the mat, lift your back knee. Step your right foot back to meet the left. We'll meet back in down dog. So option for your first chaturanga here. Exhaling to the half push up, inhale up dog. Exhale down dog or skipping it. Meeting in down dog. All right, inhale, left leg high to the sky, bend that knee, take those hip circles. Just breathe into the hip here. Nice wide circles. And then let that left leg go long. So we're trying to square the hips to the mat, setting up for our next exhale, which is knee to chest. Let the foot land between the hands. Low lunge, drop the right knee. Inhale, lift the chest. When you do this to find length in the spine for the low lunge, we're not just lifting the chest, we're pulling our whole core in with it. Core goes in, tailbone tucks down, and we're breathing into the right hip flexor. Really using your exhales to release, to stretch. And then next exhale, send those hips back towards your right heel, half splits. Let the left toes kind of flex back towards your face. Maybe walk the heel a little bit farther forward. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, fold the top of your chest, or your chest towards your shin, the top of your head towards your left foot. All right. Come back forward with an inhale, plant those hands, lift the right knee, step your left foot back to meet the right. We'll meet down dog, take it through chaturanga and up dog at your own pace. With an inhale and an exhale to guide you, or skip it and we meet in down dog. All right, from here, let's try our first dolphin. So you can lower down one forearm at a time or both. So try it out a couple times, see what works for you. We're gonna be here for a minute. Keep your belly pulled up and in, low ribs pulled up and in. And then once we'll meet in dolphin pose, so let both forearms be on the mat. Let your gaze be back between the legs and tippy toe your feet forward a little bit at a time until you really can't anymore. Let the heels come off the mat. Feel the big stretch in your shoulders here. Building strength and stretching the shoulders. Let the armpits roll in towards each other. And then we'll push up back to down dog and then walk your feet back, or your hands back towards your feet. We're on the back of our mat. We'll inhale to half lift when you get there. And exhale, forward fold. All right, we're gonna do a form of gorilla pose where we grab our big toes with your 2 fingers here. So grab your big toes on both feet, and inhale, we'll lengthen the spine. If you can lift up just a little with the chest, knees can be bent, that's okay. And then exhale, use the grip around the toe to pull your head towards your feet. Pull your belly button up and in. Release your head, so maybe even shaking out the head just a little bit here. Use the strength of your arms to keep pulling. And then move the weight into the balls of your feet. All right, we're gonna bend the knees generously, kind of hang out on the thighs for a minute or a second. We're gonna come up to standing with the right foot gripped as it is. So release your left big toe, take your left hand to your hip. Keep those knees bent. We're gonna need this to lift up. So slowly begin to transition the weight into the left foot, and you're gonna come to standing with that big toe grip or with the right hand. Yogi's choice to take this as far as you want today. This is one modification, staying right here, raised up, nice and tall in the spine. You can begin to kick the heel forward, trying to keep the grip of that foot if you can. And also, third modification, Yogi's choice, maybe playing with that leg coming out to the side. Be careful with the knee here. We don't want to hyperextend anything, so there's always a micro bend in our straight legs. Tall through the spine, top of your head lifting up, and then wherever you're at, slowly come back down. Slow and controlled. This sometimes is the hardest part, is returning that right foot to the mat. And then we'll switch it out here. So take that right hand to your right hip. Grab your left big toe with your pointer finger and middle finger. Move the weight to the right foot. Slowly come to standing with that left foot in hand. Try to be nice and tall in the spine here. If we feel like we're really arched over, we're not going to work on straightening the leg. We're going to work on getting really tall first. And then Yogi's choice, begin to kick into that heel straight out. Maybe taking it all the way out to the left. Right hand can stay at right hip for balance. And then slowly, wherever you're at, coming back all the way to that forward fold. Really try to hold the toe on your way down. Nice job, release. And then we'll walk those hands back forward to down dog. Bottom of your next exhale, look out the space between your hands. Walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. When you get there, inhale, half lift, shine the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come up with a straight back all the way to standing. Let the hands go overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center and down by your side. We'll go back to down dog at your own pace. Inhale, hands come back overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shine the heart forward. We find length in the spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Take it all the way through chaturanga with that same exhale. Big exhale. Nice big inhale takes you up dog. Thighs off the mat. We meet in down dog. All right, let's flow. Inhale, right hand or right foot high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest. We're gonna meet in warrior one. Plant the right foot between the hands. Let your back heel drop. Sweep the hands forward here. So trying to come up into warrior one as smooth as we can. Pull this right hip back into its socket. Your hips want to be square to the front of the room here. Deep bend in that front knee, settling into warrior one. And then exhale, grab the hands behind you. Hands or elbows, whatever you can clasp. We're getting ready for humble warrior, so wherever you can grab. Inhale to open the chest, gaze goes up, pull your shoulders back. Exhale, humble your warrior. Chest drops to the inside of your right thigh. Hold the hands up and overhead here. Release tension out of the neck, try to let your head hang. Keep your right hip from popping out to the right. Try and keep those warrior one legs. All right, release the hands to the mat. We're gonna straighten into that front leg for pyramid pose. So maybe readjusting the feet, coming to heel to heel alignment. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen into the spine. Exhale, fold over your right leg for pyramid pose. Maybe grabbing a block here. Blocks are great to help keep that chest lifted. We're trying to stretch the back of the right leg here. All right, inhale to lift the chest. Let the left hand drop on the inside of right foot, revolve triangle. So inhale, sweep the right hand up to the sky. Your chest is turning over to the right side of the room. Feel the big stretch on the outside of that right IT band. Lifting from the chest, so pull up with your belly button as well. And then from here, revolve to half moon. Let your left hand drop in front of the right toes. Kick the left heel towards the back of the room. Your right hand stayed exactly where it was. Lifting up, chest face over to the right. And then we drop our foot really far back on the mat as far as we can, coming to a wide-legged forward fold. So our chest moves over to the side of the mat, pigeon our toes in to face each other. We'll inhale to half lift. Find length in the spine and exhale. Fold into your wide-legged forward fold. Letting your head come towards the mat, toes are pigeoned in. Maybe grip onto the mat under the floor underneath your head. Using that grip to pull your head a little closer to the floor. Belly button still pulling up and in. All right, walk your hands back to the front of the mat, framing your right foot. Take it through chaturanga. Vinyasa will meet in down dog. Maybe making it a three-legged down dog, not letting your right foot touch the mat when you send it back. Setting up for that second side, we go right into it from down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot, sweep the hands forward, warrior one. Settle into this pose, it's a hard pose. So deep bend in the front knee, let that knee track out. Pull this left hip back into its socket. Back toes are out at an angle, but maybe probably facing forward a little bit more. Deeper bend in that front knee. Exhale, grab the hands behind you. Pull them back, so we're really opening this chest space here. Gaze goes up. Exhale, humble your warrior. Trying to let the chest drop to the inside of the left thigh. Your hands reach up and over. Going nice and slow. Plenty of time to use every exhale to get a little bit deeper. Pull your belly button up and in. Relax your head. Maybe shake out the neck a little. And then we drop the hands straight into the front leg, pyramid pose. Maybe readjusting the feet here, smaller stance. Heel to heel alignment. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold over your left leg, pyramid pose. Intense stretch on the back of that left leg, all the way from calf to hamstring. Maybe feeling it in your back as well. It's okay. All right, we lift the chest, moving to revolve triangles. So I'm going to plant a block under my right hand. Inhale, sweep the left hand over to the left, creating a spinal twist and a big stretch on that IT band. So keep reaching up with those left fingers, reaching up from your core. Strong in both legs. Try to straighten into both legs. All right, as we go to our next pose, try to keep your left hand right where it is. Right hand's gonna come into the mat in front of your left toes. Right heel lifts towards the ceiling. Left hand doesn't really move. Try that transition out. Now we're in revolved half moon, so straight into both legs, balancing pose. Squeeze your glutes together, core lifted. And then drop your back foot as far back as you can. Transition to your wide-legged forward fold. Again, slow and controlled. Let those toes come into pigeon. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Second wide-legged forward fold. Maybe grab the outsides of the legs here, using your arms here to pull deeper. If there's another variation, go ahead and take it. Still pulling that belly button up and in, giving you more room to fold, more release in the back. All right, walk those hands back towards the front of your mat, framing the left foot. Take it through chaturanga, we'll meet in down dog. Slow and controlled at your own pace. All right, bottom of your next exhale, look at the space between your hands, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. When you get there, inhale, half lift, shine the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing, hands come overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, down by your side. We're going to move into chair pose, so bring those big toes to touch. Space between the heels. On an inhale, swing the hands forward, bend the hips back like you're trying to find a chair. Pull your belly button up and in, tailbone tucks down, chair pose. All right, really settling in, move the weight back. Make sure you can see your big toes here. And then exhale, twist to the right, prayer hands, twist to the right. Grab the outside of that right knee with the left elbow. Press the thumbs together, trying to get them to the center of the chest. Then we're gonna move the weight into the right foot, lift the left heel towards the glute, and then send that left foot back. Now we're in a high lunge with prayer hands twisted over to the right. Nice job. If you fall out of it, come back in. Keep pressing those hands together. And then we're gonna cartwheel the hands with an inhale all the way to warrior two. Left hand goes back, right hand goes forward. Big cartwheel, heel to heel alignment. Gaze over that left middle or the right middle finger. Inhale, reverse warrior, left hand down, the right hand high to the sky, reaching back. Exhale, extended side angle, right elbow, right kneecap, left hand reaches up and over. Inhale back to warrior two. As you come up to warrior two, straighten the front leg, shorten your stance, setting up for triangle pose. Once you have heel to heel alignment, back toes out at an angle. Reach, reach, reach with your right hand until you can't anymore. Revolve the hands, triangle pose. Left hand up, right hand down, maybe grabbing that block. Help keep the chest lifted. Reaching up here. Use that core, so maybe you lift that right hand off the mat entirely. Feel those obliques working? All right, cartwheel those hands to the floor, take it through Chaturanga Vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. Exhale the half push-up. Don't let the belly go below the triceps here. That compromises the shoulders. So Chaturanga is a half push-up. Triceps are into the body. Inhale up dog, exhale down dog. Inhale. All right, on the bottom of the next exhale, walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. We're gonna go right to chair pose here. So when your feet get to the top of the mat, let the toes come together, keep those hips down, and swing the hands forward. Low ribs, pull them in here, tailbone, tuck it down, nice and strong, shoulders out of the ears. Exhale, twist to the left. Building strength in those legs. Press the palms together and twist the head over to the left. Try to keep those knees from not being glued together. And then move the weight into the left foot. We're gonna lift the right heel towards your glute. Lots going on here. And then send that right foot back as far as you can. High lunge with the prayer hands twist. Big move there, so keep those hands together. And then inhale, cartwheel, open it up, warrior two. Nice job, big transition, beautiful. Land with that deep bend in the front knee, back toes out at an angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Building a lot of heat here. Reach the left hand back, right hand goes down or around maybe the low back, finding the crease in that left hip. Exhale, extended side angle, left elbow, left knee, right hand reaches up and over. You're one long line from that right heel to those right fingertips. Keep pressing the hips forward, opening the hips here. And then we inhale, come back to warrior two, straighten into that front leg. Pop my back foot in a lot. My stance is a lot shorter for triangle pose. So find the stance that works for you. Reach, reach, reach with the left fingers, and then revolve the hands. Right hand up, left hand down. So first, maybe finding that strong triangle pose with the hand down, and then maybe you want to work those obliques. Lift the left hand off the mat. Pulling up and in with that core in your pelvis here. And then return to the mat. All right, we'll meet in down dog. Nice job. You can skip vinyasa completely or take it at your own pace. And then we'll drop the knees. Let's come to a puppy pose here. So let the hips land or stack over the knees. And you're just gonna walk the hands forward, kind of like child's pose. But the hips are a lot higher than child's pose. This one's puppy pose, so the forehead can return to the mat if that's comfortable. Breathe into the front of the shoulders. Some people might come up onto the fingertips to create more of a lift for the shoulders, or even putting blocks under your hands. Walk the hands over to the right. Your right hand's going to support you. Your left hand is reaching as far as it can over to the right. And then sink that weight back into your left hip here. Feel the stretch on the outside of the right shoulder. All right, walk the hands through center over to the left. Big side body stretch. We already warmed up the shoulders a bunch, so let it stretch it out here. You're nice and warm. Reach through those right fingers and then send the weight to that right hip. Really open up the outside of that right side body. Breathe into the ribs as they expand and open. Keep reaching with those right fingertips. All right, come back to center. And then we're just gonna push onto seated for a couple poses. We're gonna stand one more time, I think, but for right now, let's meet on a seated position. Bend those knees. We're gonna take right ankle to left knee. Getting into this glute stretch here. So this is a seated figure 4. I like this pose because there's lots of options. You can press the hands into the mat and move around the hips, lifting them forwards and backwards until you find a spot that feels best for you. You want to pull that right shin towards the chest to get more into the glute stretch here. You can press the right knee away from you very gently. You can even rock that shin kind of side to side. So lots going on, getting into the glute on the right side. Really breathe into it. Use every exhale to get a little deeper. All right, and then with this foot position, we're gonna go into a reverse tabletop. So your hands are gonna land behind you, fingers face forward. You have to ground through this left heel. Try and keep your right heel where it's at. Unless that is painful, come out of it. With an inhale, lift the hips, reverse tabletop. Lift the hips, feel the front of the shoulders open. And then drop the hips back to the mat. We'll switch legs here. Take left ankle to right knee. Move into this pose however feels best for you. Maybe lifting those hips off the mat. Keep pulling that left shin towards the body. Breathe into different angles. It's just like if we were doing lizard pose at the end of a flow. Same muscle, same stretch. Pigeon or lizard. All right, and then you're gonna move into that reverse tabletop. So plant those hands behind you, fingers face forward, ground through the right heel. Inhale, lift the hips, reverse tabletop. You should feel a stretch in the front of the shoulders. Still getting into the glute on the left side. You can let the head drop back. And drop the hips to the floor. All right, we'll come into butterfly pose now. So let your insides of the feet come to touch. So a lot of people think that the whole foot has to be touching here, but really you can open the inside of the feet, give yourself a little foot massage in the arch, and then let the outside of your feet, the outer edge, come together. We're gonna forward fold and butterfly here, so you can take your heels closer to the body to get more glute, hips, heels away from the body for low back. Bring the hands to the hips, inhale, find length in the spine. Hinge at the hips, trying to keep that spine straight for as long as you can. Just notice the sensation. My chest doesn't come very far forward, just this is where it's at, where it's straight. And then release, you can arch the spine, let the hands come to the mat or the floor in front of you. Support yourself in butterfly pose. If you can grip onto the mat at all, try and use the hands or the floor anywhere in front of you. If you do have your hands down there, grip onto the floor and trying to pull your head forward, creating length in the spine. So forward and folding. All right, push back up. Bring those knees, bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor, windshield wiper a couple times. And then we're gonna meet back in down dog one more time. There's one more pose I want to do today. So down dog, if you want, a couple more dolphin poses. We're gonna move through this 5 times. Drop forearms down, lift forearms up. Totally optional here. Just finishing with some dolphin. Forearms down, forearms up. Builds a lot of strength and also gets a completely different stretch. All right, back and down dog, done with dolphin. Inhale, right foot high to the sky. Exhale, plant the foot, come up, warrior 2. We won't be here for long. Exhale, extended side angle. I want to get into bird of paradise today. So if you can, yogi's choice to wiggle this shoulder under the right knee. So maybe your option today is just opening the shoulder as much as you can. Wiggle the shoulder under that right knee. Let your right hand go under your body, palm face up. And then let your right hand reach towards your low back. Maybe today you're just grabbing onto your shirt or your pants. And then inhale, reach that right hand or left hand back, up and over, trying to grab the right hand. If you can't get the grip today, that's fine. Just holding onto your shirt, opening those shoulders. Last standing pose. If you want to come to bird of paradise, you walk your left foot to the front of the mat. Kick into your right foot as you lift it. Nice job, bird of paradise, beautiful. Huge shoulder opener here. Nice job, all right, come back out of it. Lower back down. Let the hands come to the mat, push right back to down dog. Inhale, left foot goes high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot, cartwheel the hands open, warrior 2. So at this point, you might know which option you're gonna take here. Exhale, extended side angle. We're working on a bind to open the shoulders. Or coming to bird of paradise to practice balancing on your right foot. Keeping the weight up through your core, through that left foot, straighten into the left foot. Nice job, guys. Keep opening those shoulders. Pull up with the chest, tall in the spine, nice. Flex those toes. All right, play around with it as much as you want. We're gonna come back to our mats, release everything down, and we're just gonna come onto our knees for frog pose. So let the knees go wide, insides of the shins on the mat. I think our shoulders did enough for us today. Let's stretch out the hips. So frog pose, bring the knees really wide. Press the shins down into the mat, and then take your block or your prop, maybe lower down to your forearms. Pull those hips forwards and backwards until you find a spot that hurts in a good way. So we want to stretch, but we don't want to hyperstretch. That happens. And also we don't want to pull on any ligaments or tendons. We're just trying to get into the muscle. "30 more seconds in frog pose, so maybe you find another angle. For me, coming up onto my hands versus being down on the forearms changes the stretch a lot. So try out both. All right, wiggle those knees in together, nice and slow. We'll meet on our backs to close out practice. Take any last little in-between stretches you need here. And we make our way onto our backs. Really feel the sensation after holding a pose for that long, there's going to be a bit of a rebound. Your hips are like, whoa. Just notice it. And then we'll meet on our backs. Hug those knees into the chest. Wrap the forearms around the shins. Give yourself a little hug. And rock side to side. Feel the inside of those hips that we just opened up. And then we'll let the knees fall over to the right. Big supine twist here. So maybe you lift the hips, move them back towards the center of the mat. Letting the left hip stack on top of your right hip. You're going to wrap the top leg around the bottom leg. Take your right hand to the left thigh to keep it from lifting. Wiggle the shoulder blades a little bit up the mat. Lengthen the spine and twist over to the left. Sometimes when people look over one side with the supine twist, it can hurt their neck. But maybe if you lift your head and find a different way to position the head, so you can get a little twist in the neck as well. Shouldn't hurt. Slowly and gently come back to center. Find symmetry in the spine. So bring those hips back to center and then pull the knees into the chest, drop them over to the left. Supine twist other side at your own pace, listening to the spine. Let the knees fall over to the left, wrap your right foot around that left leg somewhere, anywhere that it can grip on. Left hand on the right thigh to keep it from lifting. Gaze goes right. Try to keep the shoulder blades on the mat and feel the twist from the hip bones up through your neck. All right, coming back to center at this time, feel free to take any poses. Absolutely any poses that you didn't get in today that you want to get in before surrendering to a few minutes of Shavasana. So anything at all, maybe kick out the legs, maybe stretch out the fingers. You can stand back up if there's something you need to get in. And then we will end class the same way we started. So finding your Shavasana, let those legs go long, toes roll out to the sides so they just kind of fall over till they're nice and comfortable. Try to find more length in the spine, maybe wiggling the shoulders and the crown of the head a little higher. Left hand on heart, right hand on solar plexus. Or they can just be down by your side here. Welcome to your Shavasana. All right, invite some movement back into the body by wiggling those fingers and toes, little teeny movements. And then rock the head side to side. Let the energy start to flow back in. Feel every cell wake back up. Maybe a little soft smile. And then bring those hands overhead. Big long stretch. Flex those toes down. Hands reach up. And then roll over onto your favorite side using a hand or an arm as a pillow. Right side for grounding, left side for energizing. And in this space, I want to return back to Santosha. Contentment and gratitude is what that word means. Something we can practice in yoga. And I'll leave you with the thoughts from this book. It says, feeling satisfied and fulfilled in life creates deep inner happiness. Whether happy or despondent, I can feel grateful for what I do have. And I will set reasonable expectations and fully accept whatever happens. Push yourself up to comfortable seated position. We'll meet on our sit bones. Maybe the hips are raised on a block, facing forward, hands on the thighs. Last inhale, bring those hands overhead. Fingertips to touch. Exhale, thumbs down to your third eye center. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. Enjoy your holiday. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.